Hello and welcome to Nurture Academy. As you all know, we every day learn about some tricks to solve numericals in physics and chemistry. This time, this module, we are going to learn about solving the numerical problems in for electric potential and capacitance. So let's get going. If you really want to learn electricity, the main thing we need to learn is the formulas of force, field, flux, potential, and how they are related to each other. Now, if you can see first two formulas, one more thing, always remember the formula of force as kq square divided by r square instead of remembering the k as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, because this makes the formula easily learnable for you guys. So now coming back, since you can see in first two formulas, force is equal to kq square divided by r square and electric field is equal to kq divided by r square. So that means that force and electric field, they are related to each other as force is equal to electric field multiplied by q. The another way of remembering this is that force is always between two charges. Force is always between two charges and field is always due to one charge. So this is the another way of remembering the formulas. Now flux, electric flux is related to electric field as flux is equal to electric field multiplied by the surface area, and actually they make a cos of angle between each other. And then potential and field, they are related to each other as field is equal to potential divided by distance. We can also write it like E is equal to dV divided by dl, as you can see with the last formula. Sometimes if potential is given in the form of quadratic equation, then we will do its differentiation to find the value of E. In going further, we will see in the next slides how we can calculate the value of E using the differentiation. So let's get going. This is the simplest type of numerical problem. Since this is the start of the numerical problems, we just have to, in this question, calculate the value of potential due to a charge, and also we have to find out the value of work done in bringing some another charge from infinity to some distance from the existing charge. So, as we all know, potential is also due to only one charge, and the formula of potential is kq divided by r, where the value of k, which is also known as dielectric constant, is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught can be written as 9 into 10 raised to the power 9. So as you can see, work done and potential, they are related to each other as work done is equal to potential multiplied by charge. It's very important for electricity. I'm telling again, field is due to one charge, force is due to two charges, potential is also due to one charge. Work done, when we are calculating, we have to multiply the potential with the charge. That's all. If we know this, we can solve anything in this particular chapter. So I think this numerical is clear. We'll get going on to the next one. This numerical is based upon if we are having one electric dipole. Dipole, as we know, is an arrangement of equal and opposite charges, and by convention you should always take the distance between these two charges to be 2a. Now whenever I am having one electric dipole and I keep it inside the field, it will experience a torque. Torque means a kind of rotatory force, which you can remember the example of opening one tap. So, torque, which is denoted as tau in this formula, tau is equal to P E sine theta, where P is known as the dipole moment of that particular molecule and E is known as the electric field in this particular case. So tau is equal to PE sine theta. Next one is we have to calculate the value of electric potential at the central point P for due to a sphere which has some kind of charges arranged at the corner. The easiest way to solve this type of numerical problems is that you bring one charge at a time from infinity to that that place. Anyways, potential is a kind of scalar quantity, so you can simply write the formula of potential, that is kq divided by r. For each charge you write q1 divided by distance r, because everybody is at a distance r from point P. So you can simply write and fill the values, and you can easily calculate the value of potential at the central point P due to the side charges at the corners of the sphere. But similar type of question, let's say we are doing for electric field, the link is there in the description box. We had solved last time for electric field. That time we have to choose, we have to do the vector sum, because for electric field is a vector quantity, we cannot simply add each and everything like scalar like in case of potential. So let's get going to the next numerical. This is in this pic you can see, there are certain capacitors. Okay, now this is very interesting. Capacitor is an arrangement in which we are having two metal plates. They can be of any shape. They can be in the shape of a sheet. They can be in the shape of a roll. So these two metal sheets, they should not touch basically each other, because if they touch, then the charge will flow. Remember, we are still doing electrostatic potential. So in this case, we fill this in between space with something known as dielectric. For dielectrics, we have to remember one very simple thing, that is all dielectrics, they are insulating by nature. So basically we are putting, charge on one metal sheet. In between I have insulator, and then I have another metal sheet. So charge will get induced from one metal sheet to the insulator, which is dielectric, and then from that insulator to the another metal sheet. That's why capacitor is an arrangement which can be used to store charge. Now each capacitor has kind of capacity, right, which is written in this formula in the form of C is equal to Q by V, like how much charge a capacitor can hold. For example, we are on Earth. Sometimes, we see in the clouds lightning is happening. So that time, in between us and clouds, we are having air. So air is acting like the dielectric. But if the load of potential on the cloud will keep on increasing, 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 there'll be one point where air, which is otherwise an insulator, for a moment will become conducting. That is when we say that electricity strike the earth's surface, right? And in physics terms, we call this phenomena as dielectric breakdown. Okay, so if we try to load more charge over a capacitor beyond its capacity, then it can undergo dielectric breakdown, and a capacitor circuit can totally burn. So basically we always deal with, parallel plate capacitor, which is shown in the form of which is appearing like a book in this case. It is important to know, as we can see in the formula, the capacity of a capacitor depends upon charge and potential. Directly, it doesn't depend upon electric field. So, when you have different shape capacitor, first you will find the value of electric field. For that, you will use Gauss law. Again, the link is given in description box. How do you find the value of electric field using Gauss law? First, we'll find electric field. We'll multiply that electric field with the distance. We will know the value of potential. Then only we can fill the value of this potential, and we'll be able to find the capacity of a capacitor. But general formula, if we are usually using a parallel plate capacitor, then the formula of capacity will be epsilon naught A divided by D. So this is one numerical which I have picked, which is based upon parallel plate capacitor. As I told, we can derive this formula C is equal to epsilon naught A by D, but we have to start from C is equal to Q by V. We will first calculate electric field due to parallel plate, and then we will find out the value of potential. Then we will calculate charge using again Gauss law, and then after putting every value we will be able to find the value of capacity of this capacitance. So in this given question, first part is very easy. Second part also is easy, because once you have calculated the capacity, you can easily calculate the potential due to that given capacitor. And third part is we have to calculate the value of electric field. So electric field for a parallel plate, when we will derive it, we will know that it is sigma by epsilon naught. This is one more question based upon capacity of a capacitor. And then we had also calculated the energy stored in a capacitor. Since I told that capacitor is used to store the energy, so you can also use this capacitor arrangement to store the electrostatic energy in this case. And the formula for energy stored in a capacitor is half CV square, where C is the capacity and V is the potential. It's actually very simple formula. So we can just fill the values and we can calculate the final energy stored in the capacitor. This is very interesting numerical. Sometimes we will be given a graph between potential and the distance. Now we all know we have to calculate the value of electric field. So electric field and potential, they are related to each other. We've been knowing this again and again. E is equal to delta V divided by delta R. Just in case, if you were not given this value in the form of graph, instead we were given V in the form of quadratic equation, then instead of just choosing two values over the graph, we just draw the slope of the graph and we will calculate delta V by delta R. But similar type of question, if we are given in V in the form of a quadratic equation, we would have to differentiate instead of simply dividing. We will have to differentiate. Let's see in the next question. That is based upon this one. This is the one. So in this case, potential is given in the form of a quadratic equation. So E directly I cannot find, because E is equal to delta V divided by delta R, right? So I have to do differentiation of potential with respect to X separately, then with respect to Y separately, and then with respect to Z separately. As you can see in this particular case, we will get X component of electric field, which we denote by I cap, Y component of electric field, which we denote as J cap, and Z component of electric field, which we denote as K cap. And then we will just take the magnitude of the electric field. We'll fill the value for R, and then we can actually find the magnitude. We got the answer 6 I cap plus 5 J cap plus 2 K cap. If you want to find the magnitude of E, you have to do 6 square plus 5 square plus 2 square whole under root. That is how you can find the magnitude of electric field using the components of electric field. So if you want to know about vectors, again the link to that video is given in the description box. And if you want to ask any questions, please ask in the comment box, and please like, subscribe and share our channel. And thank you so much for watching. We'll be back with many more videos like this.